are looking live at Sunnyside Summer Thursday on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. Yes, I'm college football crazy.
Did you just make that up?
Visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off. Wait, what? Including 50% off your first 3 online purchases?
Wow.
Holy God. Enter promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois Med Card holders.
We are not effing around.
50% off your first 3 orders.
That's pretty darn good.
That's a lot of extra weed.
That's a lot of weed.
Yeah.
That's a summer's worth. Maybe.
It's like buy 3, get like 2 for free, basically.
That's crazy. That is a great deal. Take advantage.
Wait, hold on.
Sunnyside.shop. Use that code.
50%. You buy 3, you get 3 free.
I don't want to, we shouldn't say this, but
No, 50% off.
That's a bad business plan. It's like Red Lobster's unlimited shrimp.
Why would you get only 2 free if you're buying 3?
No, I said buy 3 and get, because it's,
Here we go.
Because BOGO is.
I'm going to Sunnyside right now.
BOGO is 2 for 1. So if you get 1 and you get another 1 50% off, if you get 2, that's 2 50% off. So that's basically getting 1 for free.
Oh.
I took one math course in college, people. All right. If I'm wrong.
Sorry, I was at Sunnyside before the show.
Yeah. I think he's right. Anyway.
No more math.
Go buy some edibles. Go buy some weed. And elevate your summer.
I didn't get that opening reference, Shay, because I think I'm the only person on the planet that doesn't have college football.
That's Brent Musburger. You are looking
live. At the
Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
That's from real life.
This one's for all
and
the
a girl 45 years younger than me that I'm going to all go in the crowd.
45. 75.
Well, that was probably 10 years ago.
Dude's like 90.
Brent Musburger is still
this
around,
is exactly
right?
why you tuned in. Thanks for being here. Do us a favor and smash that like button for us. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page as well.
Yes.
And if you're a podcast listener, like, subscribe, follow, rate, and review, all that fun stuff for us. Please do that. We've got some mailbag questions to get into before we get to our Top 10 Thursday. And I know everyone's hockey crazy right now on July 25th. There's so much going on, but we just have to take a little bit of a hockey detour. We're going to do Top 10 Summer in Chicago festivities. That should be a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll have a lot of opinions on that. But before we do that, let's get into the mailbag.
I'm sick of carrying the mail around, so let's finish this off. We will start with Brandon, who's at Straight White Male. That's a wonderfully
MAIL.
Yes, and
so fitting with the
sure works. Okay, Brandon says, comparing the guys' views on Kurashev from last offseason to this offseason, it's fair to say he's at least in the long-term conversation. Considering he is eligible for an extension now, what does his next contract and future role look like? This could be a big test for Kyle Davidson.
I think Kurashev, I think he does have a spot in the future plans. I think it's probably not being a top 6 winger unless he plays his way into that role, which would be wonderful. And I think he is eligible for a contract, but I don't think he's one of those guys that Kyle Davidson is necessarily itching to get a deal done right away because, and look, you need 2 sides to sign a contract. So maybe Kurashev is going into this season thinking, I played really well last year. We got better. I'm probably going to play with a lot more better players on a consistent basis. Why don't I bet on myself through the season and potentially earn some money this year rather than maybe signing a $4 or $5 million deal when he could earn more than that?
Well, and from Kyle Davidson's perspective, too, you can kind of look at the other way as chances are he's not going to spend as much time with Connor Bedard last year as he did last year, and maybe those numbers go down a bit.
Potentially not.
And while he still likes him, he could probably get him for a little bit more of a reasonable contract. He is an arbitration eligible restricted free agent. After this season, he makes, 2.25 this year. I think if you're looking at an extension for him, 3.5, 4.
That's it.
I don't know if I'm going a lot higher on it. Like I just don't know yet. I don't know yet, and that's why this season is going to be a huge. It's going to say a lot. It's going to tell you a lot about who Philip Kurashev is this year, because can he do it without Bedard?
Yeah, I mean,
that's fair.
I think that range seems right. We'll see what happens, what he does this year. If he has a 20-goal, 50-point season, not, playing the entire year with Bedard. I think Kurashev, long term is, if a lot of this young talent coming up hits their ceilings, he's probably a third line player when everybody's here and this team is situated.
On a contender.
You bring in another big free agent to be your, running mate to Connor Bedard. He's probably a third liner, so you probably don't want to spend more than $4 a year on a third liner. Because I'm a big Philip Kurashev fan, but if he tries to outprice himself, you can find other Philip Kurashevs out there. They're out there.
That's the thing, and this is where when you talk about looking down the road, having a long-term plan, and we've said forever, if a lot of these guys pan out, you're going to have to say goodbye to guys you like, and if you want to keep your Nazars and your Korchinskis and your Bedards and all these guys long-term, some of those guys that come up and earn a little more money than you're maybe comfortable playing for that role, sure, maybe that player is worth that amount of money. But on this team, if they're contenders again, you probably don't want to pay a third-line guy second-line money. You've got to be careful with that spending.
And if he's a third-line goal scorer, they've drafted, they've got 4 or 5 of those guys already in the system.
Yeah.
Paul Ludwinski comes to mind. Gavin Hayes, not exactly the same type of players, but can play that role.
Well, Merrick Van Acker is probably in that similar role too.
You're going to get those guys on their entry-level deal for the first couple of years. I hope he's here for the long run. I really like him, but if that's a guy you have to say, we can replace you with somebody younger and cheaper, I
think that's a ways away. That's a ways away though. I think you've got another contract with Kurashev before you really have to worry about that.
For sure. I don't see
this
them
is an RFA arbitration contract. I think they can get him for
give him Athanasiou's deal.
Sure.
And then make your decision in 2 years.
4.25
for 2 years, and then come up with another decision.
I'm down with that.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Just don't re-sign Athanasiou.
No. Please. I couldn't possibly. I'll have to return my 89 jersey.
Is that what number he wears? I don't even remember.
No, that's Alexander McGillivray.
Only on the ice 5 times last year. I forgot.
Are we ready to go back into the mailbag? Okay. Let's go with this one from Colin. With the new additions to the team, where do you think the power play and penalty kill will rank this year amongst the league? Also, condolences to Greg and his family.
Well, thank you. That's
last season. They had the
power play got
28th ranked power play.
Yeah, the power play never really took off. So you would hope for improvement there.
Penalty kill 27th, 75.8%.
But the penalty kill was better as the season went on.
Yeah.
Towards the last half of the season, it was much better than...
They had a stretch where they killed 29 of 30 or something like that towards the end of the year.
And it was still that bad.
And it was still bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were light years behind everybody else. I mean, power play, you would hope, now that you have Tavo and you have
enough players to have two actual power play units.
And more importantly, you have enough players so that Connor Bedard doesn't have to do it by himself on the power play.
Right, yeah. You don't need Unit 1 playing a minute 45.
So, right. If they put 3 of the 4 defenders on Connor Bedard, somebody's out there that could actually score a goal.
Right, yeah.
So you should be much improved on the power play. You said 28th they were? They could definitely be a top 18 to 20.
Yeah, I think if you're in the upper 20s into the teens for both the power play and the penalty kill, that would be wonderful. I think an incremental improvement should be expected, given the personnel improvements that they've made across the board. Yeah, I'd say if you're hovering around 20 on both the power play and penalty kill, that's an improvement, and I think that is probably a realistic expectation for this team.
When you brought in Craig Smith, who is a good penalty killer, Teuvo Teravainen is a good defensive forward.
Yeah.
So you've got some improved personnel,
and you're not putting Jacob Megna or Jared Tenorti on the power on the penalty kill. You have Alec Martinez, who's been a very good penalty
Great
killer.
shot blocker.
Hopefully a healthy Connor Murphy improves the penalty kill, and Laurent Brossoit should improve the penalty kill as well. Not having Arvid Soderblom out there will probably pad those numbers a little bit.
Yeah, and you have guys that can also be threats on the penalty kill. Like, yeah, you have your guys that are like defensive specialists, like, you know, being on the PK is like what they might, you know, be the best thing that they bring to the table. But a guy like Ilya Mikheyev is kind of defensively sound, but also super fast. Yeah. You know, Andreas Athanasiou,
what Sam Lafferty was a couple years ago.
Andreas Athanasiou, like he started to improve defensively when he was healthy and got some PK opportunities, and also was dangerous going the other way on shorthanded
Jason
chances.
Dickinson can score.
Jason Dickinson did that as well. So like you have a lot of guys that, you know, they are penalty killers, but they can do a little bit more than that. It's not strictly just like throwing out Marcus Kruger. Like you have a guy, even a guy like Philip Kurashev could play on a penalty kill and also be a shorthanded threat. So it'll be fun to see how Luke Richardson puts together the special teams units.
Yeah,
got more options, that's for sure. All right, want to do another one before the break zone?
Yes, let's keep going. Let's go with this one from Young Gamer. If the Hawks are in a playoff spot near the deadline, what are you comfortable with giving up to make a push? For me, I go no further than thirds or lower mid-level prospects, and even those would have to be great deals.
Well, the thing is, those things aren't going to be a push. You're not giving up thirds and lower or mid-level prospects to get a great deal is not something that happens at the deadline for teams trying to get a playoff push.
If you're pushing for a playoff push, I don't want to give up much of anything, to be honest with you. Let them try to get it themselves. Maybe get another penalty kill type of guy. But what's the point of trading a first-round pick or a top prospect for a rent-a-player so you can get your ass kicked by the Dallas Stars or the Colorado Avalanche in the first round? It's not worth it.
Your trade deadline acquisition is you don't trade anyone.
Yeah.
Right? You just keep your team and say, all right, we're not selling. We're going to keep these veterans around. We're going to keep Craig Smith. We're going to keep these guys on one-year deals around, and we're going to see what we can do with it, and hopefully we get some playoff experience out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year they'll be more active in the selling market because you have guys, Maroon, Smith, deals, Taylor Hall, Athanasiou,
unless
maybe even Alex Martinez.
Unless they are like second or third in the division, I don't think there's any reason to go for a playoff push. Even if you're flirting with a playoff spot, I don't think it's a smart long-term strategy to be like, oh, let's try and push into the play. Like, unless you are flag in the ground, like we are in a playoff spot and we are going to go for it, that's the only way that you'd be okay giving up anything.
What about selling, though?
At
what point do you not sell? The guys we're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you are not selling, you would have to be like, as we are built right now and performing right now, we are in a solid playoff spot. That's when I say that is when I would be okay with not selling.
Okay.
And I would say the most valuable thing that I'd be okay with giving up would be like maybe one of the second round picks you have, but that's it. Like I wouldn't give up any of the top young guys you have. I don't think you want to give up a first round pick. Like if you're solidly in a playoff spot and you want to say we want to try and do something to improve a little bit, I'm okay with giving up one of those second round picks, but that's my ceiling.
I mean, a first-round pick wouldn't be bad if you're getting a guy that has term. Like if you're getting a guy that has another year or two left on his contract that could help you beyond this season. There you go. I like, hey, Stan owes us one. He owes us about 50.
Yeah.
At least I think it's more value to sell some of these veterans off. And honestly, I don't think they're going to be in this situation where
I don't think it's
something they have to sweat out.
Yeah.
They're going to be better. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about should they buy, should they sell. We'll get that answer before Christmas.
All right, we got more of the mailbag coming up. We're also going to get to Top 10 Thursday. Summertime in Chicago should be a lot of fun. Hit that like button. But first, we're going to enter the break zone.
Yeah, and hey, if you guys are in the market for a 14-ounce bacon-wrapped chicken breast,
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Okay. I'm in.
You heard me. A 14-ounce bacon-wrapped chicken breast. Do I have the place for you?
Hurry up and get to it.
Family Farms. Their culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication,
and
bacon, and a commitment to crafting the finest bacon-wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized taste buds since 1974.
Yeah,
Look at those things.
I've had one of these.
It moved.
I've had one of these. They're delicious.
Oh yeah. Join them on a flavorful adventure where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms. You can find Family Farms bacon-wrapped chicken even easier now. Look for them at the local meat departments in Woodman's, Mariano's, Burkett's. And if you're craving a taste of home without leaving yours, you can check out baconwrappedchicken.com. That's a good website to go to.
Good name.
Or you can click on the link in their Amazon store, which also includes the legendary Rocky Rococo's Italian sausage. Hey, now I'm looking for that.
Nice.
And to find out where the new amazing Cajun Nation flavors will become available with an authentic Louisiana bite. Experience the flavor that has become a family favorite for generations. Visit your nearest Woodman's, Mariano's, Burkett's, or go to Amazon, or you could go to baconwrappedchicken.com. That is Family Farms, our friend and yours.
Cheap weed, bacon wrapped chicken. The only thing that's missing is some nice cold Coors Light.
It's a
And guess
tradition
what?
unlike any other.
We've got you there. Because if you're doing all that stuff, you have definitely chosen chill
Hell yeah.
for your afternoon or evening. And there's nothing better when you're choosing chill than an ice cold Coors Light. Reach for that Coors Light when you choose a chill mindset. That's what we do. Coors Light, you know it by now. Mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. When those mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. When Coors Light, well, you know it's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. So when you embrace a chill mindset, fill your grill with bacon-wrapped chicken and fill your brain with haze. It's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And, of course, when you're using the products from Sunnyside or Coors Light or bacon-wrapped chicken, do so responsibly.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially the bacon wrapped chicken. By the way, I love Woodman's. I don't have one anywhere near me.
Woodman's is cool.
Woodman's
On the way to
nice.
Alpine Valley, it's a good place to stop off for ice.
It's like they literally have like a
right there.
300-yard long cheese section, and that is just the coolest.
Yes.
The
Woodman's is cool.
The Woodman's in Kenosha is it's a good place to
Yeah,
stop.
if you're going to Woodman's for cheese, you might as well just take a slight detour and go to the Mars Cheese Castle.
Well,
Well,
if you just need cheese,
Yeah.
go to the Cheese Castle.
There,
Get some Walter Payton
there's a
shaped cheese, my
Woodman's in
friends.
like near like West Dundee, Carpentersville. That
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
The
there's-
only one I know is
there's
the
one in
Kenosha one.
Volo nearby me.
I think there's one in Highland Park too.
Yeah,
There's no way to know.
Nice?
I think so.
They've
Buffalo Grove,
they've
Bloomingdale,
expanded.
North
So, yeah.
Aurora,
So you don't have to go to Wisconsin.
Right.
Carpentersville, Lakemore,
That's the one that's
Lake-
close to me.
yeah.
Kenosha, Buffalo Grove. Yeah, there's a lot.
Buffalo Grove might be the one I'm thinking of.
We need some. Bring one to Homewood, damn it.
All right, let's get back to the mailbag. We got 3 more before it's Top 10 Thursday. So let's go to Jackson. How would you rate Blackhawks players and prospects in NHL 24 style in terms of overall for the NHLers and potential for prospects? Thanks.
Are we doing like 87 overall? Or are we doing like, what do they have? Like elite first liner,
Oh my
franchise
God.
player? Is that like how?
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go in
it's-
depth.
There's
Let's go from the top to
franchise,
the bottom,
there's
whole
top
roster.
6, top 9, depth, forward,
AHL, top
and then
6.
AHL, and then you got again franchise, elite, top pair, top 4, top 6, 7th defenseman, and then AHL. Oh God.
Want to do the top 5 prospects?
Yeah, let's
They're
go.
all elite NHL
Let's go with
forwards. Done.
prospects.
So we'll say number 1 is Lev Shinov, number 1 prospect.
I'd say he is probably a nice medium elite. And what's his overall right now? Is that the question? Keep
Yeah, I
pop
believe
it
that
back up
was.
there.
Yeah, that was.
It was like what are there
yeah.
players, prospects
overall?
All right, so let's say what's he going to be in NHL 25? I'm going to say NHL 25 quote unquote hits the shelves as it used to. Levshinov is going to be a medium elite, and I say he's going to be a 74.
74. I was thinking 76, but we're on the same path. And then you've got that, like, yeah, I think you're right. Like medium elite, top, I would say like career potential, like top pair guy. I don't know if he's a franchise player, but a top.
No, I don't
top pair
think he'll
defenseman
give
is
that. I
career
don't think he'll
potential.
get that treatment.
All right, how about Oliver Moore? We're going to move him. I think we're moving him up because the speed on the ratings is going to boost him up a little bit. I'm putting him at a 79.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he's probably going to be like a medium top 6. And I would put him at like a 75.
Man, Russian Judge Mario over here. How about Nazar?
I think Nazar's already in.
100, my friend.
Nazar's already in the game. I think he was like a 78.
Yeah, he'll get a boost
in the final ratings of 24. I think he was 78. I'd give him a medium top 6, and I'll say he starts NHL 25. Knowing NHL on how they do things, I think he'll start as a 78.
Okay,
but I think
seems
that's
right.
fair for where he's at.
Who else we got? Sam Renzel. Want to do Sam Renzel?
I'm gonna say medium top 4. He's probably like a 72.
Yeah, probably right. And they still got Lucas Reichel on this list, so we'll skip that one. How about Ethan Del Mastro?
I'm gonna say
He'll be higher because he's played too.
Yeah, I'll say he's probably like a medium top 4, and I think he'll probably start NHL 25 as like an 80. I think his ratings will go up.
Okay, interesting. All right, there you have it.
Yeah, that's fun.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I
think that's fair.
I used to wear medium elite about 10 years ago, but
Yeah. I don't think
Medium.
haven't worn a medium since 3rd grade.
okay.
Yeah,
By the
it's a
way,
little large.
weighed in today, the lightest I've been since high school.
Nice. You look great.
Nice.
They're gonna-
235, baby.
We have to
gonna-
change
love
the name of your
They're
podcast.
going to kick you off that show.
I led this week's
I'm-
I'm Fat podcast with the fact that I ordered a salad for lunch on purpose the other day.
I'm
We're
medium
kicking
elite.
you out of the club.
Was it a-
podcast.
Hey, I'm still. This is not going anywhere. I'm still gonna die very young. It's okay.
do salads that are like clearly just like
Like a taco
an
salad.
unwrapped
But this was
sandwich
not. I got the
count?
buffalo mozzarella salad from JP Graziano,
Okay,
which was
all right.
arugula, basil, sea
That's
salt,
That's like a real salad.
and
yeah.
but it did have a ball of mozzarella in the middle of it,
that's fine.
cut into 4s. Oh my god! And
There you go.
huge heirloom tomatoes.
I was gonna say if you get like a
Hot damn!
buffalo chicken salad, like that's just a buffalo chicken wrap without the tortilla.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you order a side of tortillas.
Right, yeah.
The night window is open at Jimmy.
I gotta do that. Maybe after Metallica we'll do that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, back to the mailbag from Scott. Have you guys heard of any players from overseas possibly joining the Ice Hogs this year, like Oscarson, Fleckman, Kanserov, since SKA may let Demidov leave early for Montreal?
No, Kanserov is playing in the KHL. He's got
Yeah.
2 more
I
years.
think we
on
would
his
know this
deal.
by now.
And I don't think
I
there's
think
any.
so, yeah.
There's no like, my God, we have to have him over here this year type of thing. Let him play.
That would be the one.
Let him play on the defending KHL championship
Yeah, it's a
team
good-
and develop
good place for him to
playing
be.
in, one of the top 4 leagues in the entire world. There's worse things you could do. I don't think Oscarson's coming over. He's still pretty young,
Yeah.
and his
got,
was a whole lot of meh last
He's
year.
he's a project.
Yeah, and
Falkman is
still a little young. I mean,
he's staying in Switzerland.
Yeah, so I think the first of those guys we'll see in Rockford, probably Falkman, maybe
Yeah.
next season
or at
some
or
point
at the
this
end of this
season.
year maybe.
Oscarson, I don't think
Oscarson's a project.
seventh
Too
round,
busy assassinating people.
7th round pick, or was he a 6th round pick?
He's an
Whatever he was,
assassin.
Yeah, he was a late round.
big
He was like a Bond
guy.
villain.
It's a guy that if he ever comes to North America, that's a victory of a draft pick, even
Yeah.
if it's one season in
Yeah,
Rockford.
not many 6th and 7th round picks, play for their NHL team,
Right.
or even sometimes even play for their AHL team. So, yeah, I mean, those a lot of those guys are, they're project picks, letting them develop in Europe before they're, physically ready to come over and play North America. Or for a lot of these prospects, it's a big culture shock sometimes to come over from Europe to North America, even doing it, as a 22, 23-year-old. is a culture shock, let alone if some of these guys come over at 19, 20 years old. So there's a lot more that goes into that beyond their on ice hockey development. A lot of it has to do with, some of their maturity and being able to handle a move like that as well. So, I mean, I think mostly Rockford's roster is pretty much set for what it'll be this year.
One guy I'd keep an eye on for maybe getting signed and coming over after the European season ends is maybe Victor Schornberg.
Mm-hmm.
He's 21 right now. He'll be 22 in May. So by the end of the season, this is going to be his third full season in the SHL. So his playing time and his numbers jumped significantly. Last year, he went from 1 goal and 8 assists in 42 games to 6 goals and 18 assists in 46 games. And his average ice time increased by like 3 minutes a game. So that's a guy that I could see when the European season ends. Maybe the Hawks throw that, contract offer to him and bring him over and finishes the season. That's a guy that could be kind of fun in the AHL. He's one of those.
I've liked his game.
You talk about like maybe future guys that could fill in that third line energy
your
role.
new Philip Kurashev.
There's another. Yeah. That's a guy that can be that 3 years from now.
But I think you made a good point too, and just reminding people that like Oscarson and Marcel and these guys were late picks, and the odds of them playing in the NHL are very, very small.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Like, I know we're all excited because Marcel is funny and he's big and he has a cool name and everything.
Put him in the new studio then, the new TV.
There you go.
There you go.
He signed an AHL extension recently.
Yeah, he'll be back. The Ice Hogs probably more indie than Rockford.
Fuel. Yeah.
I mean, especially when you look at that roster now, it's going to be tough for him to find minutes in Rockford. So if you're in the Indianapolis area and like your Marcel, you're probably going to get a lot of chances to see him play this year.
Yep. All right, how many more we got?
We have one more.
Well, let's do it.
You know what? It sort of ties into Top 10 Thursday.
Beautiful.
So let's hit this
That's called
before
a segue, my friends.
we get into the break zone. This is from Rob, the rescue guy. Chicago summers are fun, but what's the best summer food in Chicago? And honestly, let's just do this for the next half hour.
Yeah, I mean, I have an answer. I mean, there are different things for different seasons. That's for sure.
Grilled Italian sausage.
See, and that's where I'm going.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that is top tier for sure.
Yeah, like give me anything grilled.
Grilled
Anything
Italian
you'd have at a
sausage
cookout
or bratwurst. I prefer Italian sausage to bratwurst.
A nice
any freshly
ballpark
grilled
hot dog.
encased meat works for me.
I will say, Chicago's finest restaurant, Guaranteed Rate Field, has wonderful. The brats and the onions are just perfect.
Oh, yeah, on the
Just perfect every time.
flat
Right on
top
the griddle. Oh,
if those
so
onions,
good.
You got to make sure the onions aren't like freshly thrown on there. If there's two,
No, they gotta be
they gotta
like
be nice and caramelized.
like 3 or 4 days.
Yes, let's go.
And you can't have summer in Chicago without going to Mario's Italian Ice on Taylor
I was just going to
Street.
say, Lawrence's shirt is
Oh, yeah.
making me.
Yeah.
I believe this might be a reason for me wearing it today.
The Italian Ice is an underrated Chicago summer staple there. Even though that's not my Italian Ice stands ice T-shirt. It's still a good one.
This place is the best.
Yeah, and
Shout out to Migos.
Dairy Queen is also a big.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
I'm serious. I've got
Yeah?
one.
We love Dairy Queen.
I can walk to one from our house, right there across the street. We have one that we walk to.
Does yours have food or is it a classic just ice cream only?
I don't know. I think it's just ice cream. They may have like hot dogs, but I don't even look at that side of the menu.
And Rescue Rob, who I believe asked the question, is in our chat saying, "I like ice cream outside." So there you go.
There you go.
We get
Yeah,
we get the blizzards and we walk them home. And by the time we're home, we just throw them in the garbage can.
We have Zarlengo's Italian Ice, which you've had. You probably just don't know it. It comes in the tubes. You buy them at the Jewels. They have a little kid like looking at it. But the actual like store Zarlengo's is out by us on Joe Orr Road in Chicago Heights.
Nice.
We went there yesterday and they do a half custard, half Italian ice thing. And we got the root beer Italian ice. So it was like an ice cream. It was like a root beer float.
Whoa,
Oh
let's go.
my
That
God.
really good.
It was
sounds amazing.
absolutely killer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nicely
so
done.
you really can't go wrong summer in Chicago food.
Yeah, I mean, if you could eat anything outside from the like plethora of Chicago options,
Let's do
and
it.
you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. All right, Top 10 Thursday coming up right here on CHGO Blackhawks.
Well, we have the perfect sponsor for our summertime in Chicago Top 10 Thursday. All these fun activities we're going to talk about do in and around Chicago are made even better when you're rocking your Shady Rays. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
That's a lot.
Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all your outdoor adventures. No matter what of our top 10 lists you are planning to do, wear your Shady Rays. You will not regret it. You're going to look great. You're going to see great. And people are going to be like, man, look at that cool guy with those Polaroid shades. I wish I had some of those. Well, if you did have some and then you can't find them all of a sudden, or you break them.
You lost them in the couch cushions.
Careful. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is back. It's not all that was lost in those couch cushions. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you don't love your shades, exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. And exclusively for our wonderful listeners, the bestest podcast listeners on the entire planet. That's you guys and girls. Yep. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use the promo code CHGO, and you're going to get 35% off your order. So you could try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
A lot of people.
A ton of people.
And from Shady Ray to Chevy Ray, choose Ray Chevrolet as your first pick this season and find the right new Chevy and right price for you. Visit our friend this July to shop the Freedom to Save sales event going on all month long at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Plus, find the perfect tailgate vehicle. Right now, you can get $12,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado. Or lease the new 2024 Chevy Trax for only $188 a month for 24 months. Or cruise into July your own way and shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. And if you've heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you've also heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices we're talking about right now, you can expect to see the very same thing when you shop Ray Chevy in-store or online. So shop the Freedom to Save sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
All right. It's time for it. We ready for Top 10 Thursday?
Yes, let's talk about the summer.
Yes, we
Summertime.
are. Let's do
Chicago.
top.
By the way, this is inspired
Thursday.
by our recent outing on the Chicago River
Yeah.
with our friends at the Blackhawks.
Yeah, it was fun.
So it was very fun.
It was a good time.
Thanks for the invite.
It wasn't my
Wasn't ours.
I didn't send
Wasn't
invite.
ours.
It wasn't my yacht. Sorry.
I was
yet.
talking to our friends that always listen to our show. Maybe next year.
No, it was a good time. One of my favorite things to do when out on a lake or a river, just on a boat, is just to wave at other people. You don't need to.
You
know
were
them.
waving at a lot of people.
It's so much fun.
But they enjoy the wave.
It's so much fun. You just you and whoever you connect with had the same idea that day of I'm going to go on a boat today.
One of my favorite moments, speaking of waving, was we're in the lock waiting to re-enter the lake area.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks yacht pulls up alongside this guy who had a giant Blackhawks flag. And that guy had no idea that was Danny Wirtz standing on the hull of the yacht, like waving at him.
I don't think that guy had any idea about any of the other boats
He gave
around
one of
him.
these, which you know is a bad sign for...
He was the guy blasting the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, he was alone on his boat.
Blasting Beastie Boys.
Blasting Fight for Your Right to Party.
I
and
said
he
that was definitely a guy that
fighting hard.
saw Bon Jovi on the Slippery When Wet tour. Had the same haircut, too.
Yeah, he was
Good
having
time.
a good
That
time.
guy, I'm sure that guy's boat is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
to
like
hang out.
extreme. It had like something like...
It said to the limit. To the
extreme.
limit.
Oh, to the limit.
To the limit.
That's right, to the
Yeah.
limit was the
But
boat.
you
So,
just
if you're
smoked
listening
If
to the
you're
limit,
listening, Captain to the
you missed
limit.
the Blackhawks boat, buddy.
yeah, you had your chance to ask Danny Wirtz for free tickets and you blew it.
All right. We ready?
That was good.
Number 10.
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
All right.
Number 10, block parties.
Block
Yeah.
parties. They're the best, man.
Love a good block party, whether big or small. Block parties are tons of fun. I had a couple when I used to live in the city on the north side on Ainsley Street. Like, it was a lot of fun. And what's great about that is, like, sometimes you get them on like the big streets where it's just like, a couple hundred people, all around. And then you get some that are like the 10 houses on this one little street are just like, we're just gonna get a bounce house for the kids and put it in the middle of the street, and road's blocked. All right, go around. It's those are a ton of fun. You get to meet your neighbors, and
every time I see a block party, even if
grill.
it's not my block or near my block, I just want to get out and go enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it just looks so fun, and I don't know. It's they've sadly kind of become a thing of the past, because I feel like there's just a lot of red tape now to get the street blocked off, and you got half the neighbors are just introverts. But let's bring block parties back.
When I lived in Edison Park, we had our block had the best block party ever. We did. We were able to, get the permit, so the city would send the bouncy house and pick it up. We had a DJ. We would do like a 50-50, and like we had everybody. They would buy a wagon. We'd chip in and buy a wagon, and then every house was asked to like chip in a bottle of booze, and we'd raffle off the
wagon of booze,
the off the wagon, and but then we would use the 50-50 and that money to pay for the bounce house and the DJ, so none of it came out of our own pockets. And we had a there it is, the Oshkosh Block Party in Edison Park. That's the one, man. That was a lot of fun for a few years. Great time. And then one year we did like a shot crawl where you walk to different people's yards and then they would have a different kind of shot.
That's fun.
So,
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those
early
old,
to bed for me.
Oshkosh block parties.
That's fun.
Now, did you catch the picture I used in that graphic?
Is that from the movie Block Party?
No, it was that would have been good too. But no, this was from the St. Pat's.
Cool.
nice.
St. Pat's,
The world's
Awesome.
largest block party.
Unfortunately, they've gotten rid of that, but
Nice.
Because wasn't that like the biggest like singles hookup place in the world, allegedly?
I do believe there were
true.
lots of stories of future married couples that met there.
All right, I sent Law, just real quick, an aside, I sent you the picture of the Arctic Freeze from Zarlengo's. This is a root beer
I want it.
and custard. So it's that root beer Italian ice with the custard swirl. It is absolutely unreal.
Sounds really good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll bring some of those in.
Is that? I was gonna say, can you buy those in stores or just?
So they serve them they come in like a plastic cup.
Yeah.
But when you buy them from the freezer, I don't think they sell those in stores. I can I can go there and get some though. Well, I'll send you guys the flavors. And I'll bring a few.
The next time
in.
we all have to park at your house.
I don't need anything else.
I'll bring my. I got my Willie Nelson igloo cooler. I'll fill it with some Arctic freezes and bring them in next week.
Perfect.
Sweet.
What about your beef sleeve?
You're the greatest.
Oh, the beef sleeve.
Beef
Yes,
sleeve,
I do still have
yeah.
the beef sleeve.
Your ice sleeve.
I got to pay for it.
Yeah.
For the beef sleeve to arrive.
Number
All right,
9.
number 9. Interested who put this one in there?
Soccer games. I did.
All right.
I don't know if anyone else did, but going to summertime soccer games for the Fire, the Red Stars. I've done it a handful of times. Like it's a blast. Like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but there are plenty of ticket options available for those games usually, and they're not super expensive. Like the last time I went to a Fire game, I was like 5 rows back of midfield, and it cost me like $20 a ticket. Like it was nice, and those games can be a lot of fun. I know the like diehard fans of those clubs, like especially because it's soccer, like they have that they get that atmosphere going.
Great. Yeah.
It's a good time.
Forgive my ignorance. Red Stars are still in Bridgeview.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
I
moved
gotta
there,
go to
and the
Red Stars
Fire
game,
are
man.
at Soldier Field.
Get some of the great, any of the Middle Eastern food along Harlem and Bridgeview there on your way. Ooh, or stop at the patio. Patio is good stuff. I will say it. Good. I forgot this from my list. Same kind of ideal. The Athletes Unlimited softball. For those that don't know, it's starting like I think this weekend. It's professional softball in Rosemont, and every week they draft 4 teams, and it's like a point system. It's very cool.
That's cool.
But you go see some of the best softball players of all time play against each other in Rosemont. It's a great time. We go several times a year. If you've got kids that play, The players sign after every game. You get 2 games for the price of 1.
Nice.
So you get a doubleheader every time you go. And between games, the players come talk to the kids, sign for them. It's a great time, so I couldn't recommend it more. We go at least half a dozen times a summer. Can't believe I forgot that from my list. I suck.
Yeah.
All right, number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah, back on the theme of what we were talking about earlier, backyard cookouts.
The individual block party, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I was on my way home. Hope was at a meeting last night. I was driving home. I go, I'm just going to throw some hot dogs on the grill, and I just got the prayer hands emoji sent back last night. So, oh, man, it's just like
something so
simplicity.
Mhm.
There's something so soothing and relaxing about, pouring yourself a cold beverage,
Yep.
grabbing your Bluetooth speaker, heading out to the grill, putting on some tunes, and just flipping some burgers or cooking some sausage.
Yep.
And you feel like, the inner caveman in you comes
Yeah.
out. Like, I'm cooking meat over open fire.
Yeah, cooking
Gas or
with
charcoal?
fire. Yeah.
I just do gas because it's easier.
I prefer the taste of charcoal, but I have gas because it's just easier. And
I
quicker.
have a gas skill as well.
I'm an American. I want my shit right now. I don't have time to wait for charcoal.
I am poor and have a charcoal grill. It's a beautiful Weber, though.
Yeah,
Well, those aren't cheap.
grilling.
It's like 20
Grilling
years
with
old.
charcoal is more of a task, but
More of an art form too, because if
Yeah.
you screw up the charcoal, you're
I do.
done.
you're
yeah.
you're
I
to
am.
your toes.
I'd rather just know that the heat is equal everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll always remember going to went up to Milwaukee for a Brewers Cubs game with a bunch of friends one time, and we had one of those like little Weber grills for like $20 that you get at Ace Hardware, and we had the charcoal and everything like ready to go, and it just would not start. Like we fucked it up so bad.
You didn't have the pyramid. Correct,
No,
did you?
no, it was so bad. So we actually had to go like 2 cars down to where we ended up meeting some other people that we knew, and just being like, "Can we use your grill?" I'm sorry. So yeah, it's a good way to ruin a tailgate is to not know what you're doing with charcoal. But love a good backyard cookout. It's funny whenever we host those, like our friends group, family group, and stuff. My wife's always like, I feel so bad that like you are like in charge of like cooking whenever we do that, and you like don't get to socialize and see
Oh,
everybody. I was just
great.
like, there's nothing
Nope.
I'd rather do at those parties than
Yep.
hold a drink, flip sausages, and not really talk to that many people.
Yeah, they'll come.
Yeah,
they'll come
right.
to
Let
you.
everyone else have the
It's
fun.
great.
I'm
It's like
doing
you get
good.
to talk to everybody and nobody at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're going to attract people, mainly lonely men, just going to come over and be like, what do you got over there? How you
That's
doing?
How them dogs coming
That's
along?
fine.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie asked me if I use the fire starter cubes, and
I am the fire starter.
I have the chimney starter and the electric charcoal starter that Chuckamako is
I
suggesting.
use a chimney starter for my smoker, which is a godsend. That thing's awesome.
I want to get a smoker one day.
You know,
Do you have like the?
I have a Weber Smoky Mountain,
Nice.
not electric.
I'd like a big green egg one day.
That would be great.
I've
I just smokers are such.
I heard
work.
those are like super expensive and like not that much better than. I don't know.
If you get a big green egg, you can. My problem with smokers is it is a 24/7 battle with keeping the thing hot enough.
yeah.
And checking the it's just because I don't have an electric one, so you got to make sure you have not too much charcoal, not too little charcoal. Make sure your wood is enough, and it's just kind of a lot of work. And some people love that. I don't have all day for it.
Right. Yeah.
It's tough.
Charlie does.
Charlie does. Yes.
Thank you, Charlie. We love you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Number 7.
Oh hell yeah. The NFL draft, NHL draft, and free agency.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
gotta be
I
honest.
circle July 1st on my calendar every year. Not that I don't know where to find it, but it's just such an exciting day
Yeah.
to see like which new players are coming, where, and
going.
what is it going to do to the team, and then we have a whole 3 months to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The draft has become one of my favorite times of the year.
Having gone to 2 of them,
yes.
it's even more fun.
I
now.
mean, yeah, like I always loved like the drafts and all the the preparation and the guessing who's going where. But
yeah.
having covered 2 drafts now in person, just the whole experience is awesome. And granted, we've been lucky the 2 to have to go to Nashville and Las Vegas for our 2 drafts.
Twist
I mean,
my arm.
Yeah, I mean we kind of hit the jackpot of NHL cities to go spend a weekend at.
I gotta be honest. If the draft was at the Sphere every year, I would want to go every year.
There's
amazing. It'd be my number one on the list.
There's not a 0% chance of that potentially happening.
God, was
fun. I mean,
yeah, they're changing it. Obviously,
we just have to wait till my biggest thing about the Sphere is when does the novelty wear off?
Dude, I'm sorry. The quality of the screen, I don't know how many pixels that thing has. I don't think that would ever wear off.
Everything was awesome.
Every pixel ever invented is on that screen. I just wonder how long the novelty wears off. Like, there's not many bands that can play a residency there. Eventually everybody's gonna go and see it and be like, okay, I saw it. It's fine. I don't need to go back.
I think it does set up nicely for bands like the Dead and like the Eagles and Fish likes to tour still, but older bands that are approaching age. Even if you look at and I know not everybody's a Dave Matthews fan, but Dave Matthews is 55 or something
No, he's a little older.
I think a residency is going to start making sense for a lot of these bands that we grew up going to see. Well, they're just like, hey, we're going to park it in Vegas for 2 months.
You come to us.
We're going to do 3 shows every weekend, and we're here. You come here, and we don't have to worry about the travel and everything. And I just think it makes a lot of sense for artists that are aging. It just makes it a lot easier for them because when you ask them, it's not the shows that kill them; it's the travel that kills them.
Yeah. Well, and too,
and the cocaine.
And the cocaine.
If the NHL draft is no longer, centralized for all the teams, you open up that floor space. Right. You could get more creative with it in Vegas as a year-round thing. Obviously, the screen and the atmosphere.
You can have an indoor hockey game going on during a draft.
Each draft pick goes out on the ice, and then they play a pickup game at the end of it.
Game. You draft. First 10 picks play against each other, then the next 10 picks play against each other. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave Matthews is 57.
57, wow. Yeah.
Eesh.
Getting up there. I would see Pearl Jam at the Sphere for a month straight. Yep, I agree, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I would do that as well.
We'll see.
100%.
I mean, they'll figure something out because now I think you're getting a lot of artists that are envious of the Sphere. Like, ooh, what can we do there? We got to get in there. Yeah.
The novelty will only wear off when half of the screens are broken.
When it's burnt out.
Yeah, when it's got
there's the burnt out squares,
neon green square in the middle that they can't
just
get rid of.
Blinking.
Yeah. Well, that happened at the draft. There was one panel that was out, and I was like, I can't not look at it now.
Yeah, I'm staring at that panel. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, next up on the list, the Air and Water Show.
My yearly reminder that an invasion of the U.S. would scare me shitless because I always, when I lived in Chicago, I'd always forget that the Air and Water Show would be happening in the summer, and I'd just hear jets screaming over the north side during their warm-ups, and I would be like, oh, is Russia here? Is it finally happening? And oh no, Air and Water Show.
See, for me, it's a reminder of that. I feel like we probably can't lose a war. It just kind of has that feels like that plane was not here 4 seconds ago, and now it's here.
Yeah.
And I had no clue it's here until it's too effing late.
Yeah, right.
We moved to Wilmette last year, and when the Air and Water shows, a lot of them must come from Great Lakes because we can hear them.
Yeah.
During it. My favorite Air and Water show memory of all time was at a Cubs game on the practice day.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And this had to be mid 90s because Mark Grace was up to bat.
Yes.
And
I knew you were going there.
I was at that game. You can still find it on YouTube. He's in the batter's box. The pitch is about to come, and all of a sudden there's a sonic boom, and he drops the bat and completely freaks out. That's my favorite era. I've never actually gone though. I've never
attended it. I've been places to watch it.
Too many people.
Oh,
it is a lot of people.
You got to go on the practice day, and you go to maybe by Belmont or somewhere up there, so you're not down in it.
I'm good with seeing it on TV.
When the Score was in Prudential, or the Score still is in Prudential, when I was at the Score, they had an 11th floor rooftop. On that practice day, I'd be out there. I'm going to work outside today. Thank you. It's very cool. And Jason T says, that's what we call propaganda. It has its place. So there you go. It is.
Well, yes.
It's definitely a flex.
It's the
military muscle.
Taxpayers' money on display.
Yeah.
It's fun, though.
It is a lot of fun.
Ooh.
All right, number 5 on the list. We were talking about this earlier. Cruising the lake or river.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, I don't know. I feel like seeing Chicago from the river is just a reminder
Super
of
cool.
what an insanely amazing city we live in.
I hadn't been on the Chicago River in a long time, and that was really cool because there were like a lot of buildings that weren't there the last time I was on the river. Right. I was like, wow, how long has that been there? Really cool. Get to see some cool things we didn't do. It made me want to do the actual architecture tour to learn about some of these things. But I recommend anybody that can get on one of those Wendella boats and do the architecture tour, do it, man. It's so cool. So cool.
As long as the aforementioned Dave Matthews is not in town.
Right.
That's true.
That's true.
Still funny.
And I do like a real Chicagoan. I go to Wisconsin and go on a lake every once in a while. Yeah. That's a Chicago tradition.
Honorable mention.
Yes.
Best thing to do in Chicago in the summer is go to Wisconsin.
Go to Michigan or Wisconsin.
Yeah, go on your friend's boat in Wisconsin. That's where everybody up there is from Chicago. So,
Well, I just sent you a photo in Slack. Maddie Spagnola from Sox on 35th took this picture of the river that has been stolen by a million people on social media. It is absolutely amazing. We'll get it up on the screen here shortly. But
oh yeah,
Maddie's great. If you love the White Sox, at Maddie_Spagnola. But this photo is really, really cool. Put up there in a second. But it's just such to see it from the lake, the city from the lake, especially where we were coming in from Belmont Harbor into the locks, to see all those buildings that are placed right there on the lake that you don't really ever see from that angle. It was just breathtaking. It is so pretty.
You don't see them from the highway or from Lakeshore Drive sometimes. You get it from the view actually from the water. It's awesome. I took the architecture tour one time. I was probably a junior in high school. It was an 8 a.m. tour, and I was living in Wisconsin, so it was about an hour drive in. So I left my house at a little bit before 7 o'clock, and it was a hot summer day. At 8 in the morning on a loud, rumbly boat, I fell asleep and slept through 90% of the architecture tour. So,
way to go. Worth it.
That story checks out.
There's Maddie Spagnola's photo. It's just absolutely stunning.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. That is so pretty. Man.
And Jizzo, you are not the only one who can't stand Dave Matthews. Yours truly is not a fan.
Yeah. I like Dave Matthews.
Yeah, I grew up on him.
It's Greg not liking Dave Matthews is the least stunning thing in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a thing that was popular and enjoyed.
He's a fake.
Ergo.
It's fake jam band. I'd rather go see a real jam band.
How is it a fake jam band?
They're actually a jam band.
They jam every show.
One of the best.
They never
drummers.
do the same show twice.
One of the best drummers ever.
That's true.
They're all virtuoso musicians.
They are great musicians, but collectively, I don't like their music.
That's fine.
Same thing I say about Rush. They are great musicians, but their band sucks.
I like Rush.
You just don't like Dave's voice.
I'm with you on Rush.
Just don't say that by Bruce Miles.
Everything's about wizards.
Bruce Miles will cut
Tom
you.
Sawyer rocks, though.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
You don't even like Tom Sawyer? Oh, Tom Sawyer's great.
Every Rush song is great until Geddy Lee opens his mouth and starts singing. And it sounds like a cat going through a sausage grinder. No, thank you.
I like working
cat
man.
sausage.
Only grilled, though. It's got to be grilled.
Charcoal.
And bacon wrapped.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, number 4 on our list is outdoor dining. And guys, as we were on that boat, as we keep talking about this and bragging about it, I kept seeing restaurants I had no idea existed, on the river.
On the Riverwalk, yeah.
I was texting. I'm like, "What is this?" Texting it to my friends. We gotta go here. We gotta go here. Nothing like an outdoor patio. Early afternoon or late afternoon, early evening, where the sun's going down.
Happy hour.
They got the little the light bulbs on, hanging over
String
the patio.
lights.
Yeah, I mean this photo. This is River
aesthetic.
Roast, which is
that's exactly
Yep.
the vibe you're looking for.
It's such a. It just is like an exhale moment when you're at a place like that. It's just so cool. This weekend we went to we were in the West Loop. We went to Beatrix for brunch on Saturday, and we were actually inside, but just walking around. They had a little vintage market out there. They're selling old starter jackets and Hawks jerseys, and
Oh, nice.
it was cool. They had all kind of cool classic stuff. Nothing in my size, but yeah, just.
Did they have the medium elite?
Can we just have the whole
Medium
top
elite.
10 list just be being outside?
Outside, nice weather.
Right,
Yeah.
it really is.
A lot of it is, yeah.
All things you could wear your shady rates to.
That's right.
If you're on the north side, Gene's Sausage Shop has a rooftop that does fresh grilled sausages and they got it's a German centric place, so they got like great sauerkraut, potato salad, German beers and stuff. Like when I lived in Ravenswood and Lincoln Square area, like I loved going to Jean's. So shout out to Jean's.
That sounds good. All right. Yeah, pretty much anything on Randolph or Fulton Market, you're pretty good.
Yeah, great.
Good
great
scenery
options.
too. For everyone.
Yep.
Number 3, outdoor concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Staple of the summer.
Yep.
Very much missed my Dead and Company at Wrigley this year.
So many music festivals. Too many to just name one of them.
Yeah, I mean, outdoor summertime, whether you're going to Wrigley Field,
Yep.
whether you're going to Ravinia, whether you're going to Tinley Park. I haven't been there in 20 years.
I live about 20 minutes from there, and same.
It's just an awful venue.
Actually, I went to Outlaw Music Fest a few years ago because Phil Lesh and Willie Nelson were playing back-to-back. So I'm like, I'll get lawn seats and go see that. It was fine.
Last time I was there, it was Roger Waters playing Dark Side of the Moon.
That's kind of cool.
And it rained the entire night.
Oh,
yeah,
that's tough.
not fun.
I saw I was in college. We saw the Who there.
When
and
they
they played
Quadrophenia?
No, they were just
I saw the Hoodoo
just a
Quadrophenia
regular
there.
tour. But they played Behind Blue Eyes, and Roger Daltrey's like, that sucked, we're doing it again. And they just played Behind Blue Eyes again. I'm like, all right, I like the song. I'll
Not
hear it twice. I don't
complaining.
care. It's not the first time I've listened to that on repeat.
Not complaining.
No, but I mean, even like there's so many great outdoor. Like we enjoy going Thursday nights right across the street from Athletes Unlimited in Rosemont.
Yeah,
Every
very cool
Thursday
there.
they have outdoor concerts. They bring in like these great tribute bands from all around the country. Have some really good ones there. So that and it's free and it's just just being outside.
Yeah.
Is awesome, and live music is can take you to a better place, and
100%.
being outdoors in a hot, nice summer night, listening to some of your favorite music being performed live, it doesn't get much better than that.
Can't wait.
Good time.
I need some shows. Number
Number
2 on this list, and I think there's a culprit here who did not vote for this as number 1. Cubs games at Wrigley. There's nothing more Chicago than a Cubs game at Wrigley in the summer.
Yeah.
It's listen, I do not identify myself as a Cubs fan, but if you tell me, hey, we're going to a Cubs game and we got bleacher seats and it's June or July, I will be there in a heartbeat.
Yep.
It's just a staple of Chicago. It's you think about a classic Chicago day, you think about like Ferris Bueller, like all the stuff he did. Cubs game was a focal point of it, and it's a great historical venue. You get a sunny day for it, even at night. Like it's just awesome. Like
I love a night game.
It's a good night game, a good 120 game on a Friday. It's just perfect. You get some hot dogs and a nice cool drink, and you sit out there in the bleachers and watch the Cubs win or lose. Who cares? It's a great time.
Yeah, Nate says he still hasn't been to a Cubs game since they redid the park and the whole area. It's
You won't recognize it.
Yeah,
you won't recognize
It's
it.
a lot different,
It's
but
a
it's
little different.
It's
very
improved.
nice.
It's better.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole game day experience is so much better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They don't have like the metal detectors. You walk in.
Yeah, you
that,
walk
like,
through a
stuff.
sensor. Yeah.
Even now, the concession stands, it's all pay yourself.
And grab and go. They got
And
Yeah.
but we went on 4th of July, and we bought a bunch of hot dogs and like some fries, and you put it in the carry basket, and we took it to the thing that you put it on, and it senses what it is. But we didn't realize that you're supposed to take everything out of the basket, so it just charged us for nachos.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Oh.
Cubs, I owe you guys like $50, but that's
Man,
all
Tom
right.
Ricketts was going to buy that third yacht. Poor guy. And his biblical losses.
But,
I hope he's watching.
They really did it nice there.
He can't
It's,
afford YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to be a river.
Yeah, it's
Take that, John Steinmiller.
a beautiful.
Never won a
Beautiful
yacht when
place
you
to
were
be.
working for the Hawks. I'm going to Kansas City Saturday to see the Cubs.
Nice.
Should be
They're
fun.
just right here. You don't have to go all the way to Kansas
We're
City.
just taking a
Kauffman
road
Stadium's
trip.
nice, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
it's a
seeing
nice-
other
nice.
stadiums.
Kansas City is a fun little town.
Yeah.
I'm
Lots
looking,
to
yeah, a
do
lot
down
of
there.
people have sent me suggestions.
Lots to
So
do in
Joe's,
Kansas City.
baby. Got to go to Joe's. The
that's
original
what I
one.
hear.
Get the
The one in the
Z-Man
gas
sandwich.
station, right?
The Z-Man sandwich is so good.
The Z-Man?
Yep.
Okay,
Named
hope
after-
hope that's what he was saying.
Named after Tom Zink.
Yes.
All right.
And number one.
Number one on the list.
Street
Street and
fests.
town festivals. Yeah, that's
100%.
great.
100%.
Because it's everything together. Music, food, being outside,
Mhm.
drinks,
Yep.
people if you so choose.
I mean, every weekend you can go into the city.
Go-
All the suburbs have their own little taste
Mhm.
of Downers Grove
Yeah.
or
Arlington
taste of Park
Heights.
Ridge, whatever.
Elmwood Park coming up August 8th through 11th.
You know,
they just
we
had
s-
Taco and Tamale Fest in Pilsen.
Edison Park Fest was always fun.
That was
when I
that
lived
was
there.
specifically on my list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many great things to do. I love a good street fest. Just
Mhm.
go watch a cover band play.
Yeah.
Some street fests have, non-cover bands. You
Sure.
can see your favorite band from high school. And
Yeah.
one original member still left in it.
Remember the Doobie Brothers? Because we've got one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's look, I think just the theme is when we ask ourselves in the winter, like, God, why do we live here? We're reminded very clearly in the summer why.
Oh yeah.
And I think it makes you appreciate it, right? Like I know there's places that are just like this year round, and I think
Sure.
you get used to it and you don't appreciate it as much as we do. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be fun. We got a lot left. Doesn't feel like it, but there's a lot of summer left.
Oh yeah.
Pierogi Fest is a good time. That's in Whiting, Indiana.
Whiting, Indiana,
That's
yeah.
Indiana.
You know
Yeah.
who's headlining Pierogi Fest this
Marion
year?
Hossa.
No.
Sugar Ray.
Marion Hossa.
Oh,
Really?
Speaking of
Wow.
bands
How
that
about
probably
that?
only have one original member left.
How about that?
A couple years ago, it was like Smash Mouth. It was like one of Smash Mouth's last shows before that guy died.
Yeah.
OD'd
That's
on
right.
Pierogi Fest is a blast because it's literally like 2 straight miles of pierogies.
That sounds great.
That sounds wonderful.
I don't know how I've never been, but got to get there soon.
I
Now that I
gotta-
live closer to Indiana than ever. So
I got to shout out another North Side place in the city, Rib Fest in North Center.
Oh, sure.
It's just down Lincoln Avenue, all the ribs that you could ever want.
It's a lot of ribs.
It's amazing. They've had some pretty good bands there too over the years. Went there a few times when I lived in the city, and I'll always remember I was in line for an establishment's ribs. They all blend together because they're all delicious. But I was in line and I hear this like commotion coming down the street, and people are like chanting and stuff. I was like, what the hell? It was a PETA protest going down the street, down the middle of Rib Fest.
They don't like hummus or
Obviously protesting all the ribs.
Did you throw ribs at them?
No,
Just bones?
because they were paying customers because most of them had the wristbands, so they could all drink beer. So they protested and still gave them their money. So it
That's
was
counterproductive.
it was a fun memory.
Plus, if you go to enough Chicago Street Fests, you're likely to see Local H 6 times.
yeah.
At least, yeah.
nice. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, Summer is seeing is seeing Local H play on like Damon Avenue 4 times.
Yeah. 20 years ago or so, give or take, I went to Naperville Rib Fest, and the bill was Big Head Todd and the Monsters and Ted Nugent.
That's the thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I saw George Thorogood at Naperville Rib Fest the last time I was there.
Yep, that sounds about right.
They're not doing it this year. It's the first year they didn't do it.
I saw Tinley Park started a Rib Fest this year, so or maybe they've had it for a while, and I just
As
noticed
long
it
as
this
it's
year.
not
but
at the amphitheater.
I don't believe it is.
I'm still not going. That's too far.
All right, well, now I want all the meats.
I'm
I
so
know that
hungry.
was. Yeah, we've talked about Italian sausages like 7
Yeah.
times in the last
Well,
hour.
looks like I know what I'm getting for dinner.
Yep.
All right. We're back tomorrow, Friday. What are we going to talk about?
That's
don't
your
know.
guys' problem.
We'll figure it out.
Not
Yeah, Mario's
yours.
off.
I'm doing the.
We'll do top
I'm
10
going to
things that annoy
Wisconsin.
us about Mario. tomorrow.
Number 1.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 2:30. Make sure you hit that like button on your way. Only 51 likes. Come on.
What do you people not like summer?
If you want Italian sausage and ribs delivered right to your door, hit that like button, and Law will take care of it for you.
I'm on it.
He'll be here very, very shortly. But yeah, sometimes you got to just stretch the legs and have some fun. We did that today. Remember, it is Sunnyside Summer Thursday. Get 50% off your next 3 orders at sunnyside.shop with the code HICHGO. Holy crap, that's amazing. Go save on your weed with our friends at Sunnyside. Well, we'll talk to you Friday at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.